Aloha, it's Chef Keoni. Today we're making what may become your go-to potluck dish. Crispy Gau Gee with Lup Cheong and Chinese black bean, plus an Asian Remoulade for dipping. What I like to do first is get everything prepped and then we'll bring it all together. So I have my ground pork in the bowl already, and we'll start by putting in chopped shrimp, minced Lup Cheong, watered chestnuts, fresh shiitake mushrooms. And these are fresh. I like fresh because it gives good mushroom flavor and it's mild. You can use dry rehydrated, but it's just gonna be more pungent. And here are the chopped and unrinsed Chinese fermented black beans. Now, Chinese fermented black beans are different than regular black beans. So when you're making this recipe, you need to make sure that you're going to the Asian aisle and getting specifically the Chinese fermented black beans. Next, we'll add orange zest, shoyu, sesame oil, oyster sauce, cornstarch, sugar, salt, chicken bouillon, white pepper, grated ginger, and finely chopped green onions. A list of all the ingredients and measurements can be found in the description below. Like when you're making a salad, you want to go on the outside and fold in. I'm going to actually get in the middle and push this down. What I'm trying to do is push and really get all of these ingredients to meld together. And what I'm trying to do by working this ground pork, what's happening when it starts to get sticky is it's developing the myosin, and the myosin are the proteins that are going to help bind this together. So I'm gonna let this rest for about 30 minutes to let the flavors all really kind of meld together, and then we'll start wrapping our Gau Gee. In the meantime, lay out your wonton wrappers. I have 48 wrappers here, but I also like to prep them in batches of 12. Now, once your Gau Gee filling has finished resting in the fridge, place 1 rounded tablespoon of filling in the center of each wonton wrapper. To seal them, moisten your finger with water and wet the edges of the wrapper like so. Fold the wonton wrapper in half and press down on the edges. Now, the other thing you can do is you can make shumai out of these, right? And so the shumai shape, same thing here. I'm still gonna wet the edges, but then I'm gonna hold it a little bit differently. You push them together and push them down. And I think for those of you that do go to eat dim sum, you can see that shape, right? You would put these in the basket and you would steam them. If you wanted to do wonton, it's just a different shape of folding here. So again, filling in the center, a little bit of water, glue on the edge. But here's the difference here. So you're gonna take it, you're gonna go into a triangle in this one here, fold that over, push it down. And if you think about a tortellini, that's kind of what you're trying to do, that same shape. So you're gonna hold it, push up the filling, and then wrap it around, and then press it. And so then now you have a wonton shape. So these can be steamed, and they can be fried. Well, this one would be steamed, but this can be steamed or fried. And then we're gonna go ahead and fry these. So now it's time to deep fry. A couple of things about frying safety, right? You wanna make sure that you have a nice heavy gauge pot, and you want a pot that's high enough so that when you put the product in and it's gonna foam, it doesn't overflow. So in my pot here, there's at least 3.5 inches between the level of the oil and the top of the pot, so I can account for that foaming. When you place the Gau Gee into the pot, you want to let it fall away from you so it doesn't splash on you. And you want to make sure they're dry because the water will make it splatter. You also don't want to overcrowd the pot. I'll probably put 3 in here. If I overcrowd the pot, what happens is the temperature in the fryer will drop from 350 down too quickly, and then it's just swimming in lukewarm oil. What you're looking for to know these are done is you really want a really nice even golden color. And so we'll remove from the oil and place the finished Gau Gee on paper towels to drain the excess oil. Before I make the Asian Remoulade, I want to mention you can find ingredients to make this dish at your neighborhood Foodland. And you can get this and more locally inspired potluck recipes at foodland.com. Now let's make the Asian Remoulade. If you're not familiar, our remoulade is similar to a tartar sauce. It's usually milder, more subtle, and tends to have a more complex flavor. We're gonna combine chopped Japanese pickled ginger, chopped cilantro, fresh lime juice, shoyu, sesame oil, mayonnaise, sour cream, and sesame seeds. Make sure you taste test as you go and adjust to your liking. So here's the sauce. If you're in a pinch or you're not feeling it, shoyu and mustard always works. So here we have our crispy Gau Gee with Lup Cheong and Chinese black bean, Asian Remoulade. Make this and bring this to your next potluck. Guaranteed to be a crowd favorite. Now let's dig in.